Blast
All right,
it.
here we go. Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show, Sunday, June 6th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mack with you, ready to break down the Sunday MLB card. Hope you enjoyed your Saturday. It was a busy Saturday yesterday. There was baseball. There was obviously playoffs in the winter sports, NHL and NBA. There was the Belmont Stakes. There was a UFC fight card at night. There was golf yesterday where John Rahm creates headaches and confusion for sports bettors all over the planet, essentially. What do they do with him?
Unreal.
Yeah, and shout out, by the way, to the sports books that have honored that bet and have either decided to at least refund the bet. And there's a lot of books that have paid out paid it out as a winner. You know, DraftKings has done that. William Hill has done that. So big time credit to those books for doing that. You know, having some honor and saying, you know what, let's do the right thing. Let's do well by our consumers and our clients and our customers. And that's exactly what they did. So those of you that at the very least refunded those that bet John Rahm to win that Memorial Golf Tournament, and even better, those that actually paid it out as a winner. Way to go. Job well done. Yeah, C-Mac, very good. Yesterday, lots of sports action. Baseball, we'll see if we can find some winners on Sunday, which is easier said than done for me this season. This has always been the day where my bankroll goes to crash and burn when it comes to baseball. That's just the way it is, you know. You can't sugarcoat it. Sundays have been tough for me this year. Well, all we can do is hope that today's a little bit better. Let's get it started. We'll start with the matchup between the Cleveland Indians and the Baltimore Orioles. We've got Cal Quantrill, son of Paul Quantrill, Canadian, actually, on the mound. Jorge Lopez on the mound for Baltimore here. Cleveland is stunningly just slightly favored here on the road, 9 the total. I am all over Cleveland here. First 5, full game. I'm mystified by this price. We're talking about a much better squad, 31-25 on the season overall. You know, it doesn't look like they're resting anybody. You know, they've got Jose Ramirez, Rosario, both Rosarios in the lineup. Cesar Hernandez, you know, Josh Naylor. I don't see them resting anybody. Cal Quantrill is, he's a guy that's been in the bullpen a lot, starting today, but he's been very solid when he's been a starter. You know, he's been very consistent. He has a 2.08 ERA overall this season. And on the flip side, you got a guy that's absolutely dreadful, you know, for the most part, and Jorge Lopez for the Orioles, 1-6, a 5.29 ERA. For the Orioles, it's a pitching edge significantly in my mind for Cleveland. It's certainly the better of these two teams at a very, very reasonable price. So I do like Cleveland here, first 5 and full game. Connor, what do you like here, Cleveland, Baltimore?
I do too. Man, I had a really good day at the end of the night with the Mets, the under. You know, DeGrom just dominated. I even took the A's and the under 12, going up to 12, that total. I took the under there. It was a good night. Good day all around in sports. But my best bet lost. John Means gives up 2 bombs, leaves with his arm out. Just can't get it right. This game,
terrible.
I know. Cal Quantrill, I think he's gonna stretch out more. He's pitched pretty well. You know, out of the pen and starting. I lean the Indians here as well. Ken, the big thing with me was, you want to take the Indians minus 115, or I looked at team total over 4.5. Is minus 107. It's a little bit less. And can I trust the Indians to get the runs? I don't know. Either way, I like the Indians here. I just can't trust Lopez. Like you said, Ramirez is in, Rosario. They hit him hard last night. I just can't trust Lopez. I just don't want the Orioles. So Indians are nothing here.
All right, we have Washington, Philadelphia here. Pitcher to be named for Washington, Vinny Velasquez, who came back down to earth in a big way last time out, finally. The air came out of his balloon last start. We've got in this one, obviously, we're waiting to see who's going to be on the mound for the Nationals. But Velasquez, you know, if you can trust Washington's, it looks like it's actually going to be Austin Voth. It looks like it's just been named the starter for Washington. Minus
Voth and Velasquez.
If that doesn't scream runs in this game, I don't know what does. But total 10, unfortunately, 10. Is the total in this one. I don't know if I can do that, man. I don't know if I can bet over 10 on a Sunday. And Sunday sometimes is where overs go to die.
A lot of overs yesterday. Had a lot of runs yesterday. A lot of overs in Major League Baseball.
A lot of runs yesterday, 100%. That's the only way I would look. But, man, when I see a total of 10 on a getaway Sunday, early Sunday game. And like I say, I find Sundays tend to be sometimes a little bit lower scoring. The umpires want to get the games over with. I find they widen the strike zone on a Sunday because they want to get off to their next destination. So, but these are two pitchers I can't trust. I mean, you look at Voth, Voth 2.93 ERA, but it's been all out of the bullpen. It's all in relief. Velasquez, well, he was rolling along until that last start where he got absolutely belted in that last start for the Washington Nationals for the Phillies. And we'll see if he can bounce back here, but it was definitely not good for him last time out. We'll see if he can get back on the beam. I lean over, but I don't think I'm going to get on it at 10. And look, these lineups are sketchy right now. We saw yesterday they didn't exactly mash the baseball against two hittable pitchers. Game stayed under. Washington's lineup is hard to trust. Philly's got some key bats out. I think Harper's back, but Didi I think might still be out. So I lean over, but I can't get there. 10 is just adjusted too high for my liking. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, 10's huge. Not applicable. Yeah, the Dodgers, they did not do good. Kershaw did get hit. Voth, Velasquez, I want to run. I thought yesterday, just because hearing right before game time, I kind of just took it on a whim. Getting Harper back, the Phillies might get a little bump. And they scored some runs there. Yeah, I just can't do Velasquez. I think runs will be scored. These pitchers, over time betting them in their career, are over. They get hit a ton. I'm going to stay away. I can't put my money on Velasquez or Voth. I want nothing to do with Nats Phillies. I lean over 10, -110, or the team total over 4.5 here. I mean, they're both -115, -120. No value. So it's a pass for me.
All right. Pass for Connor Mack. Miami and Pittsburgh next up. We've got Sandy Alcantara from Miami, Chad Kuhl for the Pirates in this one. Miami -120 road favorites, the total 8, pretty much across the board. I don't have much on this game. I'm kind of backing away from Sandy Alcantara a little bit. He's been roughed up a couple of times in a row. Now, granted, some of these teams he's faced lately have been good lineups, but the Blue Jays in particular, but he did struggle a bit. I don't like the road ERA for Alcantara, 5.4. There has been a little bit of a drop-off in his pitching away from Miami. That's concerning. Obviously, cool. We know what there's nothing cool about his stats. 6.41 ERA for him. Not very good this season. If you can trust Miami to hit, maybe you look Marlins team total over. I do lean Sandy and the Marlins first 5. Usually I do with them. And look, Miami, just in one of these situations right now where I had Miami first 5 innings with Rogers yesterday, but I cashed it. I said during the show I didn't want the full game because their bullpen's a disaster right now. What do we see? They blow it and they lose 8-7. Just they can't get out of their own way. They just cannot win a ball game right now. Like they should have won that. They were up 5-2 or 6-2 at one point yesterday.
I think it was 5-2. I think.
Yeah, and they end up losing that game 8-7. Rogers was solid. He had a little bit of trouble early in the game, but then he settled down and would pitch really good. That's a brutal loss for Miami. So I don't like the vibes. So that's why I lean Miami first 5, but I don't like Miami coming off that just demoralizing loss. And Sandy's been a little bit hittable lately, especially on the road. So I'm passing. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, Sandy has been hit on the road. 4 runs. Vladdy took him deep in Toronto, I think a couple times. It's tough. But I'd only go Marlins first 5, half a run. You're going to get Alcantara. He's on the road, which is true, but you're going to get about plus money with it. First 5, a half a run with the Marlins. I can't trust the bullpen. The Pirates have played better. I just can't take Kuhl here. And Alcantara, the only thing is on the road, like you mentioned. He's not at home, and that's why I don't love it. And I lean the first 5 under 4, but that's -120. I don't see a lot of value there, so I'm off that. But I lean that way. Sunday, I think maybe no runs after a lot of runs yesterday. These teams cannot score at times for a long time, so maybe low scoring, maybe full game under 8 as well.
All right, very good. All right, so let's go to the next matchup. We've got the Houston Astros, Toronto Blue Jays. This is the rubber match. They've each won a game in the first 2 in this series. Luis Garcia, Steven Matz, the pitching matchup in this one. We got the Blue Jays here around slight home favorites, about -115. The total 9.5, shaded to the under. Steven Matz he's had a good start to the season. Then he had a couple of rough patches for the Blue Jays after that, but has actually put it back together well again. The last few starts for the Blue Jays. Enters this one with a 4.22 ERA. He faced the Astros last month, gave up 8 hits, 3 earned runs in 5 innings. So he definitely labored. Luis Garcia, 2.89 ERA. Blue Jays seeing him for the first time. That could be a little bit of an advantage. Give Ross Stripling credit. That is another terrific start for him yesterday for the Blue Jays, and that's like 3 or 4 in a row where he pitched quite well. I do think this one interesting. I mean, Matz has been better, but he's a lefty, which sometimes is good for the Astros against their proficiency against southpaws. I would lean Houston, but don't really love getting involved here with this game because I do like the current form of Matz. And even though Houston hits lefties, when Matz's form's been a little bit better lately. And look, the Blue Jays have been good in Buffalo. Let's be honest, they've been very good in this ballpark for the most part. Last year they had a good record here. This year they've gotten off to a nice start this first week where they played here in Buffalo. So I'm not really rushing to go against Toronto. I lean Houston, but not going to pull the trigger. What do you think, C-Mac?
Yeah, I'm going to pull the trigger with the Astros first 5, -105. Matz has been a little bit better, but I can't trust him. He doesn't have good numbers against these Astros. One thing with Garcia, he's been great lately, 4-0 his last 4 starts, 1.57 ERA. He's been pretty dominant. Blue Jays took care of business yesterday. I think the Astros, I don't want their bullpen. Don't give me him full game, but give me him first 5, -105. And their team total might be a look. And you don't know with Matz. He can either, I think he'll be on, kind of dealing, or he's going to give up some runs here. The Astros team total over 4.5, -103. You might want to look at that as well in this game. There could be some runs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've liked Matz more than most people. I'm one of those people that have been higher on Matz than most. So that's why I'm a little reluctant to get involved against him here today. The Dodgers and the Braves, we've got a pretty good pitching matchup here. Bauer and Fried on the mound in this one. We've got the Dodgers -135 road favorites here. The total 8.5, pretty much across the board. It's actually gone up this total from 8 to 8.5. Obviously the Atlanta Braves, we've talked about this, a few times on this show, that they've been really trending to the over at home here at Truist Park. It happened again yesterday. It happened the night before. Both of the games going over the total to begin this series. But boy, I mean, I understand that, but boy, these pitchers, when you look at them, they're in pretty good form at the moment. Bauer been solid all year, 2.24 ERA, 2.54 ERA on the road this season. Max Fried on the mound for the Braves got into a little bit of trouble last time out, but again, Washington's been the kryptonite for him. I can't explain it, but the Washington Nationals just have Max Fried's number. He just never has pitched well against them, and it happened again last time out. 5 runs, 6 hits, 3.2 innings. But other than that, he had given up 1 run in 4 straight starts. And, against the Dodgers, he's been pretty decent for them. He's given up 3 runs or less in 4 of his 5 starts in his career versus the Dodgers here. So I think he's got the decent chance to bounce back. The Dodgers, again, a little weaker against the lefty, 221, 4.72 runs per game against lefties. That's not as good as they do against righties. So this might be an Atlanta spot here a little bit. I lean to the Braves slightly. I'm not going to get involved because I like Bauer and the way he's going right here, but just a small lean to Atlanta. Total-wise, I don't know. I just get the sense this could be an under, to be honest with you. Bauer's good. I think Fried bounces back. Dodgers a little shaky sometimes against lefties. So after 2 overs, this sounds like one of those games where you have 2 games that fly over the total. Sunday afternoon, you have one that stays under. So that's my gut reaction here, is maybe lean to the under here in this one. Connor, what do you think? Dodgers and Braves.
Yeah, a bunch of runs the last 2 days, and the Braves just keep getting overs at home. But I'm with you. You got 2 aces here on the mound. The one problem with Bauer has just been the long ball. And that could be a problem here today against the Braves. He's got pretty good numbers against these guys, and none of them have home runs off him. Fried on the other one, man, he got rocked against the Nats. Yeah, maybe it's just the Nats. Obviously, he struggled before he went on the IL. He came back. He's looked good. I couldn't take the Dodgers here first five. They're just too big a price, minus 135, 140. I look at Braves. The Dodgers struggle against lefties. They've done well. Fried's done good against them, but you got Max Muncy 3 for 8 with a homer, Bellinger 3 for 11 with a homer, Turner's 5 for 10 with 2 homers off Fried. So they got a little success, but the struggle against the lefty has always been their kind of their thing. So I lean the first 5 under 4.5. It's minus 120. You could probably get 4 at even money. But with these two pitchers on Sunday, I look towards maybe a little lower runs, maybe early. Then the bullpens get involved and we see some runs late. But give me the first 5 under 4.5 here.
All right, first 5 under 4.5 for Conor with this one. Tigers and White Sox, Jose Urena and Dylan Cease on the mound. We've got the White Sox minus 200, home favorites here, total 8.5, now up to 9 across the board in this game. And if you look at the conditions and what we're going to have this afternoon in Chicago, we definitely are going to have a very mild afternoon, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and that probably explains why the total's going up. Jose Urena, not exactly someone I trust, and that is putting it mildly on the mound here for the Tigers in this game. You look at the way he's pitched this season, it's been pretty inconsistent, pretty mediocre. Cease has done good against the Tigers, 6-0, 2.29 ERA against the Tigers in his career. Again, Jose Urena also coming back from the injured list here. He's been out with a strained right forearm, hasn't pitched in probably over a little bit over a couple of weeks now. So I'm not exactly sure how he's going to fare in this one, but definitely looks like he's going to be on a short leash. You're going to see a lot of the Detroit bullpen. I think the White Sox probably win this game, probably score some runs as well. That was kind of stunning that they struggled the way they did against Skubal yesterday to put runs on the board, but they did. Give Detroit credit. I think it's a bounce back game for them here today. So obviously the price, I'm not going to lay it.
Yeah.
Other than a lean to the team total a little bit with the White Sox, but just a lean. I mean, this one is pretty well priced. I mean, I could definitely don't mind going against Urena. He hasn't been good. He's coming off the injured list, so we'll have to wait and see. But I lean White Sox team total and full game over as well, just because of the fact that it's warm and both of these teams pitchers at times have given up home runs, so that's always trouble in this kind of weather environment. What do you think, Conor? Detroit, Chicago?
Yeah, just don't know what we're going to get out of Urena. He started pitching a little bit better before he went on the IL. Now he's coming off. I don't know how well he'll pitch. I don't want Cease minus 200, like you said. This is a good game to stay off. I mean, maybe over 9 runs, the full game. There's been a lot of runs. If you think the White Sox with Urena might not be in there long, and that bullpen will be in there, and that Tigers bullpen isn't very good. It's just the White Sox team total is here 5.5. It's plus money, or you could probably get 4.5, minus 135 or something like that. I look towards the team total. I wouldn't want to lay this juice with the White Sox here.
Yeah, you know what? The Tigers have a couple of relievers at the back end that aren't bad, but if Urena is not going to compete today, you're going to get into the brunt of the middle relief core for the Tigers, and that's basically the middle part of what you would call a crap sandwich. Is essentially the Tigers middle relief. That's exactly what you got with the middle relievers there. You don't want any part of them. They're not good, and unfortunately, because Urena is probably going to be on a short leash today, you're probably going to see a lot of that group of relievers today for Detroit. Minnesota, Kansas City in this one. Bailey Ober against Brady Singer. Your pitching matchup here in this one. We've got the Royals minus 125, home favorites up to minus 135 now. The total 9.5 across the board. Bailey Ober is just making a spot start and in very, very limited action this year for the Minnesota Twins. Nothing to write home about. Let's put it that way for Minnesota. He's being called back up to make this start. He made a spot start for the Twins a few weeks ago, May 18th, 4 runs, 5 hits, 4 innings, just nothing at all that impressed you one bit. 1.5 whip as well. He's only projected to be a 5.8 ERA pitcher this season by the projections model. So what's it tell you? He's basically pitching in that first start in May, Ober, the way we expected. Not very good. Not a whole lot of expectations for him. It should be a game where Kansas City and their red-hot lineup right now is able to jump on him. And again, the Twins bullpen has been spotty behind him. But Brady Singer, on the other hand, he's still struggling to find consistency one start to the next. He actually has done a decent job against the Twins in the past, neutralizing them, but still 5.06 ERA. And by the way, you talk about weather conditions that are good for hitters. We've got wind blowing out at 11 miles per hour, south winds, warm winds, mid 80s temperatures. I was on the over as a best bet winner yesterday on the closing time show, Minnesota, Kansas City over. I'm back on it again today. It probably won't be my best bet today, but I still like it. Over the total one more time here with the Twins and the Royals. Both of them trending over because both lineups are hitting. Starting pitching, I think, is suspect, just like it will be today. And again, the bullpen, Kansas City bullpen's actually been pretty good lately, but Minnesota, not so much. I think we get over the total here once again, 9.5. What do you think here, Connor? Minnesota, Kansas City.
Yeah, Bailey Ober has not been really good. Just making here a spot start for Pineda to give him a couple extra days rest.
Bailey Over.
He gave up
He's going to be called Bailey Over.
Yeah, I like it. He allowed 4 runs in 4 innings last time he spot started against the White Sox. I gotta say it again. Give me the over again here in this one. I was on it with you. It was 8.5 yesterday. It got there early and then no runs late. Twins held on. I'd lean the Royals here today. I just don't know if I want to go first 5, a half a run. I'm trying to get a little better price in full game -135 because I really just don't love Singer here. But I'm with you. I lean the full game over. Twins team totals plus money over 4.5. The Royals are over 4.5, -130. Still, I think they score here. So I think we could see some runs. 2 bad pitchers in this one.
All right, Arizona and Milwaukee. Next up, we've got in this matchup, looks like it is Caleb Smith, the lefty for Arizona, Corbin Burns for the Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee -250, home favorites. The total set did open 7.5, and it's now up to 8. The betting markets are paying attention to what I've been paying attention to lately, that Arizona is an over machine right now. They can hit, and they are hitting Arizona. They scored 5 runs yesterday. They've scored actually 4 more runs in 3 of their last 4 games. They've gone over the total at an 8-1 clip in their last 9 games. And the reason for it is their offense is better, but their pitching can't get anybody out. Their starting pitching is brutal. Merrill Kelly was rough again yesterday. The bullpen is just awful right now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's the issue right now for this team. They just can't get outs, and pitching's just not been good. Caleb Smith, you can throw him into that line of pitchers that hasn't been really all that great lately. He struggled a little bit more. Last 2 starts, he only went 5 innings, 2 runs against the Mets, 4 runs, 5 hits, lasted only 3 innings before that against San Diego. So that's definitely some trouble for Caleb Smith going into this matchup. We'll see if the Brewers can have some success. Brewers do fare a little bit better against lefties than they do righties. So this is a little bit of a superior matchup here for Milwaukee. On the flip side, we've got Corbin Burns on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. He is a guy that obviously throws hard. He had a little stint there on the injured list briefly, but he's come back. And for the most part, he's been solid. 2 runs or less, 3 of his last 4 starts. He's a strikeout machine, so the strikeout prop, is always in play with him. The one issue with him is he doesn't really go deep into games. Like usually he tops out at 6 innings. He'll usually pitch 5 or 6. He won't go deeper than that. It's because he throws a lot of pitches. When you're a strikeout pitcher, sometimes you don't throw a ton of pitches. So that's the issue here. Arizona, I know it's not, Corbin Burns is really, really good. But I'm not betting an under right now with Arizona. And I understand why the total went up. Look, even if Burns is good, Arizona could scratch a couple of runs across. And on the flip side, Milwaukee, even without Lorenzo Cain, he's back on the injured list again. Here's another guy. It's like Anthony Davis of MLB. He can't stay healthy right now, Lorenzo Cain, but he's back on the injured list again for the Brewers. But even with that, they're still hitting right now. The total's gone up. I do agree with that. 7.5, 8. I mean, it's not asking a lot right now to get Arizona up and over a total of 7.5, 8 right now, the way they've been trending. So I do lean that way. Connor, what do you think here? Diamondbacks, Brewers.
Yeah, real quick. Luke Murphy. Yeah, if you like KC, the team total's 4.5. It's just the juice is -130. You just got to lay it there if you want to take their team total over 4.5. This one, it's the Brewers. Burns is not that he hasn't been good, but kind of hard luck. He's 0-3 his last few starts. His ERA is still good, 2.24 here. I like the strikeout prop. He's at least had 7 strikeouts in every game this year. I think that's a look in this one, especially when a guy's minus 250. You're looking for something of value. And I think the Brewers team total over 4.5, it's minus 115, is a good look. Like you said, they hit lefties a little bit better. Yelich is back. He's 3 for 6 with 2 homers off Smith. I would only be on the Brewers here. I just don't want anything to do with the Diamondbacks on the road. So lean Brewers. I just don't want to lay the price. Even the run line at minus 120. This is getting into alternate run line, and I don't want to go there with the Brewers. I'm not going to take them minus 2.5. No way.
Yeah, I had 3 Brewer bets yesterday. I had the first 5 minus a half, which cashed. I had the first 5 minus 1.5, which just fell short. And then I had the full game minus 1.5 on the run line. And I thought, wow, Arizona came back to tie at 5-5. Looks like I'm done. And then, of course, the Arizona bullpen strikes again. 2 late runs for Milwaukee, and they win 7-5. So we did get the run line in the win column after all. But that tells you how bad that bullpen is right now for Arizona. And they've been overworked for weeks, and you're seeing the effects of it. Cincinnati and St. Louis, Wade Miley and John Gant. We've got the Cardinals minus 110 to minus 115 home favorites, total 8.5 shaded to the over. I was on the over in Gant's last start against the Dodgers, and he was good again. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of the business of waiting for the regression for John Gant. He clearly keeps delivering. He clearly keeps pitching well. Sometimes these are guys that you just have to ignore their advanced numbers. His ERA is like 1.8, and his FIP and his XFIP are like 5, which is an insane gap.
Insane. Crazy.
The two. It's insane. It's insane. But look, you just sometimes, that's why advanced numbers, sometimes you just can't blindly bet based on those. He is finding ways to get people out, and he's baffling the number crunchers right now. So at this point in time, I have no interest going against Gant again. You're just saying maybe. If you're going against Gant and saying he's due to get rocked, I've been saying he's due to get rocked for like 2 years now. Well, I'm that way. 2 months, 2 weeks anyway, at the very least. I've been saying he's due to get, there's a correction coming. There's a correction coming. Well, maybe there isn't one. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe there isn't one because it's just been unbelievable with this guy. 1.6 ERA for him. You look at him as in terms of consistency, he's given up 0-0-2, 1-2, 1-0-2 in his last 8 starts. I'm done going against that kind of track record. What I am interested in kind of going against here, Wade Miley has pitched well his last 2 starts. Don't get me wrong. 1 run allowed to the Giants, 1 run allowed to the Phillies. But this is a lefty, and this is a Cardinals team that mashes lefty pitching this season. 250 average, which is 29 points higher than their batting average against righties. And they average nearly 2 runs per game more than they do against righties. 3.99 runs per game against righties, 5.9 runs per game against lefties. Miley's been solid, but I think they can do a little bit of damage here. Keep in mind, Paul Goldschmidt, 4 for 11. 364 average against Miley. Tommy Edman, 4 for 9, 444 average against Miley. Nolan Arenado, 7 for 19, 368 average against him. There's some big damage that's been done by some of these Cardinals against Wade Miley. I like the Cardinals team total over. I'm done getting I want nothing to do with thinking about what are the Reds going to do against John Gant. I'm taking that completely out of the equation here. Let's just see if the St. Louis mashing lefties continues, and I'll go with the team total on the Cardinals over. What do you think here, C-Mac, Reds, Cardinals?
I agree. I think this is the Cardinals spot here. The Reds have looked good in this series so far. I think this is the day for them. It's 4.5. It's plus money, but they hit lefties. One thing is a good bet has been the Cardinals against lefties, and you're right. They rip Miley. Even Matt Carpenter, 6 for 19. Yachty, 4 for 13 with a home run. And Gant has decent numbers against all these Reds in his career. So I'd be on Cards. I want a full game minus 110. I want the Reds bullpen with Miley. And I'm going to take a little team total over 4.5 plus 112 here. I think they can get some runs today against the lefty.
All right, Waka and Dunning here, Tampa Bay and Texas. Michael Waka, Flocka Flame, and Dane Dunning for Texas. We've got Tampa Bay minus 125 road favorites. Total 8 here, shaded to the under in this one. The Texas Rangers, Dane Dunning's been a very, very big wild card this year, I guess is the way you could say, because he's had some excellent starts and then he's had some outings where it's been absolutely dreadful for him. Which one are you going to see today? Tampa Bay with the 3-0 win yesterday. Michael Waka on the mound for them in this game. Overall, 4.63 ERA. Nothing to write home about. You know what's interesting? These two pitchers with them on the mound this year, the over is 10-6 to the over in Waka and Dunning starts combined. And I keep thinking we might get over the total here. 8 is the total. We had a low-scoring game yesterday. Both of these pitchers are actually more negative than positive in their last few starts. And I think we might be able to see enough runs here to get this game over the total. Rays are averaging 5.5 runs per game against righties. And even the Rangers, 4.1 runs per game this season against righties. So that if you combine those two run averages, you get over 9. So that's what I like here. Over 8, I should say. Tampa Bay, Texas. Connor, what do you like here? Rays, Rangers.
Yeah, I'd only be on the Rays first 5, even with Waka at even money. They're just the better team. And I don't know what I'm going to get out of Dunning. He's better at home, 2.33 ERA. On the road, he's 7.2. He's just gotten rocked on the road. This one's tricky. I could see runs after a 3-0 game, but I could see low scoring too. And you don't know what you're going to get out of Walker. You're just hoping you can get 3 or 4 good innings, because this is another bullpen game for the Rays. They'll kind of stretch out. I just think the Rays are the better ball club, and I'm going to get even money on the first 5. So I'm just going to lean Rays here, scratch a couple across like they did yesterday. Rich Hill pitched great again. So give me the Rays first 5 and even money.
All right, liking the Rays first 5, even money. Oakland, Colorado, Coors Field. James Caprillion and German Marquez for Colorado. Actually, we've seen Colorado become the favorite in this game. Minus 115, total 11 in this one. And look, Marquez is feeling it right now. He's really pitched well in recent starts here for the the Rockies. He's lowered his ERA to 4.13 on the season. He's pitched really well lately for this Rockies group. We'll see if he can keep it going. Caprillion's been solid. He got roughed up a little bit against Seattle in his last start, but still overall a 2.95 ERA for him. I just can't justify. Like I understand Marquez. He's a bet on pitcher right now, but talking about still the much
minus
inferior
115
Colorado, even money. Like who's the better baseball team? It's clearly Oakland. It's not like Caprillion's been garbage. He's been pretty good. So I'm not on this game at all, but. I just don't see how this price point is value on Colorado. We're talking about a team that's 23-36 compared to an Oakland team that's 35-25. So I understand Marquez is in good form. I'm not rushing to go against him. I'm not going against him, but I'm just not endorsing Colorado either at this price because, look, this is a pretty crazy price considering the gulf between these two teams. Connor, what do you think here?
Exactly. It'd be different, I think. Marquez was plus 110 or something like that. To bet on the Rockies here. Marquez is, like you said, his last 5 starts has been pretty dominant. ERA under 2. Caprillion's been good. Yeah, it's just a kind of a value spot for the A's. It's a game I'm going to stay off, just like you are. I'm going to stay far away from it here. The A's haven't hit Marquez. They've seen him a few times. Not too well. Chapman's the only guy. Matt Chapman's 2 for 6 with 2 homers off Marquez. Maybe a jack of the day there at Coors Field. For Matt Chapman, but other than that, I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, by the way, it looks 163 collectively, the average for the Oakland Athletics against German Marquez. So definitely has not been pretty. By the way, everyone watching the show, hit the like button. We appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It helps us out, helps the show out. There's a lot of things you can do to help out the channel. And we're going to show you another way that you can help the channel right now. Buy some merch. Check this out. There you go. Check it out. We got the full merch line, t-shirts, flip-flops. It's summertime. Go to the beach, man, and rock some PSR, Pub
Backpack,
Sports
all that
Radio
shit.
flip-flops. There you go. Backpacks, you name it. So make sure you check that out. Pub Sports Radio merch now available. Awesome stuff. Get you ready. Get you some gear. Simple as that. All right. Next up, as we continue on through the MLB card, we've got Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants, Kyle Hendricks, Johnny Cueto, your pitching matchup here. We have the Cubs here slightly favored in this one on the road, around minus 115, total 8, shaded to the under. Hendricks has turned it around. I'll give him credit. He's been a little bit better as of late. Can he keep it up here against the Giants? That's the question. Johnny Cueto, 3.45 ERA. These are just two pitchers where when they're on, they're on. When they're not, they're not. It's been that kind of season for both of them. Cueto has been very, very tumultuous in his last couple of starts. So I fear that it's just a game right away. I crossed off the list in terms of betting. Like I try to tighten the belt and go with low volume on Sundays as it is, because this day has kicked my ass all season Sundays. And this was one right away where I said, you know what, Hendricks is up and down, inconsistent. Don't know what I'm going to get night in, night out. And same thing with Cueto right now. He's been fighting it a little bit. So I'm not involved in this game, side or total. What do you think, C-Mac, Cubs, Giants?
Yeah, Hendricks on the road, I just don't love it. I mean, 6-4, 4.62 ERA. He's 3-1 with over 4 ERA on the road. I'd be on the Giants, even though Cueto, if I had to bet this one, I'm going to stay off as well. The Giants' first 5, they just keep getting it done, and it's minus 105 here. I know you got to back Cueto. He's 99 in his career against the Cubs. He's 4-1 with a 3 ERA. He is kind of fighting it since he got back off the IL. But I'd lean Giants at home here. Best first 5 team in baseball. So I'd lean that way. You're getting him pretty cheap here at minus 105.
Yeah, absolutely. Pubsportsradio.com. Indeed. Yes, that's where you go for the clothing line, the merch, and all that. Pubsportsradio.com. Don't forget about that. Pubsportradio.com. Make sure you check that out. Seattle and the LA Angels. Logan Gilbert, Patrick Sandoval. The pitching matchup here. We've got the Angels minus 150, minus 155. Home favorites. Total 9 across the board in this one. Logan Gilbert, it's been rough start to his major league career, but we're starting to see him progress. We're starting to see him improve little by little. He's getting better the last couple of starts, and he's probably still going to be a pretty good pitcher long term. I still believe that he's going to be a pretty good MLB pitcher for this team in the long run. I don't trust Patrick Sandoval, the lefty here for the Angels. Not one bit. 3.8 ERA, but he's very hittable. I find he's always walking guys most innings. He's got that combination of he can get hit hard sometimes, and he struggles with that command and that control. And you put that combination together, that's not a pitcher I'm looking to endorse as a favorite here. There's not many underdog shots that I'm looking at today in terms of bigger underdog shots. This is one I am. I like Seattle a little bit here. First 5 in full game. Logan Gilbert is slowly improving. And look, we're starting to see, I think, him settle in. He's getting the nerves and the jitters out of his system. And look, the Angels are always a risk, in my opinion, when they're laying this kind of price. I like Seattle here. First 5 full game split. What do you think, Connor?
Real quick on that last game, Hendricks has done pretty good against the Giants, but the Cubs have got some homers off Cueto, as you probably know. Rizzo's got a couple. Not their average is great. Jock's got one. Jason Hayward, 7 for 25, 2 homers. Chris Bryant, 6 for 13 with a homer. He's been pretty hot. And Javi Baez has a homer. I think you're right. The Mariners, I had them first 5, and then they blew it. Last night took a little on them. I'd be on them here again. Sandoval's pitched pretty good, though, his last few, but I can't trust him. And him at minus 150, no way. I kind of course, always want the Angels full game with the bullpen. I take the Mariners, but the Angels bullpen's been a little bit better lately. And I'd rather kind of get in, get out. They gave it up last night. If I were to be on a dog, yeah, I'd be on the first 5 here, plus 135 with Gilbert. I think maybe he can get his first win, or, he's got too much good stuff to keep getting, kind of hit around. I think he'll start doing well.
All right, we've got the Mets and the Padres here. Stroman and Paddock on the mound. Padres minus 155. Home favorites, total 7.5. Shaded to the under. It opened 8, went down to 7.5, and now I'm starting to see 7s pop up. So lots of under. I can't argue with that. This smells like a classic Conor Mac first five under special here in this game. Stroman and Paddock. Stroman, consistent, just steady all season long. Give him credit. He has been absolutely terrific for the most part. 2.66 ERA. That's pretty good for Stroman this season. The Mets 6-5 in his starts. I do lean a little to the Mets here. Again, I was on the Mets first five in full game last night. I said, what an insane price to be able to back someone like Jake DeGrom.
Oh,
and boy,
yeah,
he was just
have to do it
once again. Yeah, masterful in that game last night against the Padres. But I don't like it as much. I may not even bet it, but I do lean a little bit again to the Mets first five full game. But I think the first five under makes sense. I know Paddock got hit hard the last time out against the Cubs. Struggled a bit, but before that, he had pitched pretty good. His numbers at Petco this year are good. And before that, he had given up just 3 runs in 19 innings and a 1.42 ERA in his last 4 starts combined before he got roughed up a little, Paddock, by the Cubs in his last start. So I think he's capable of turning it around in this one. This looks like a first five under to me. What do you think, C-Mac? Mets, Padres?
I do lean that way. I haven't bet it yet. We've had 2 games under trying to dominant pitching. I'm a little leery, and the only thing is Stroman's been a little bit kind of getting back to himself. I mean, he's pitched well, but I don't think his ERA stays in the 2s. And Paddock, I just can't trust him, even though he's pitched better and he's at home. The one thing is the Mets can't hit at times, and even the Padres have struggled to score runs, as you saw last night, and even the night before they got 2 runs. So yeah, I lean the first five under 3.5 here, even money. And I look at the Mets, like I said, the Padres bullpen is what tops in baseball. I look at the Mets first five here, plus 135 with Stroman. They could get a couple runs here, just like they did last night, and take the first five, the lead there. So Mets first five, and yeah, lean under here, 3.5.
All right, we have Sunday Night Baseball now. Final game on this slate. Of course, you know what Sunday Night Baseball is tonight. Whenever the Red Sox and Yankees play a weekend series, you're usually going to get them on the Sunday Night Baseball game, and that's the case here. Boston and New York, we've got Garrett Richards and Domingo Germán, your pitching matchup. Yankees minus 145 to minus 150, home favorites, 9.5 the total. Pretty much across the board here in this one. The Boston Red Sox just walking into Yankee Stadium and doing damage, outscoring the Yankees 12-5 in the first 2 games, winning them 5-2, 7-3 last night, and did some damage late to get the victory in that one. I'm not laying a price with Domingo Germán and the Yankees. You can forget it. There's no way I'm doing that whatsoever. This team's just in a funk right now. Not only is their offense been inconsistent, look, their pitching's been kind of shaky as well. And their bullpen, which is the strength of the Yankees, collapsed flat out last night in the loss to the Boston Red Sox. Simple as that.
Got over the
Germán
total.
had it together. Yeah, and it went thankfully, because that's what I was on last night, was over the total, and the Yankee bullpen helped to get there. Germán's actually been pretty solid, but the home run ball has killed him. It's absolutely killed. Most of the runs he gives up these days are home runs, and it's going to be a warm night in the Bronx. It looks like the wind is going to be blowing out slightly to left field, and that could be trouble. You know how short it is there, left field. It's so easy to get the ball out of the yard. That could be trouble here tonight. Yeah, in this start here for we do have an NBA show, by the way. Someone was asking. Yes, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We'll be on with NBA Pub. But getting back to this game, I mean, I don't trust Germán. I don't know if I necessarily trust Richards. He's still been pretty good overall the last few starts for the Red Sox. 2 runs or less, 3 of his last 4 outings. But track record against the Yankees, a little bit spotty for him. We'll have to wait and see if we can turn it around. On the flip side, you look at Bogaerts. You're right, 4 for 10, 1 home run. That's definitely Jack of the Day material in my mind. I want home run props against Germán because he seems to be giving up at least 1 home run, in most of his starts lately. So definitely looking at Xander Bogaerts, for a home run prop here in this game against the Yankees. I would lean to the over here. It's 9. It's actually being pushed up a little bit to 9.5. Red Sox and over the total is where I would go. I don't usually like going against teams trying to avoid a home sweep, and the Yankees have been sometimes good at that, where they lose the series but they win that last game. And it is Garrett Richards, who is not exactly, Cy Young material by any stretch. But at this price, no way with the Yankees. It's Boston or pass, and I do like the over a little bit here. Connor, what do you think here? Sunday Night Baseball, Sox, Yankees.
Yeah, I'd only be on the Red Sox here. I know the Yankees avoiding the sweep Sunday Night Baseball. I don't want to lay minus 150 with Herman here. Richards, he's had some success off some of these guys that work with the Odor and other guys, but 0-4 with over a 7 ERA career lifetime in Yankee Stadium. I'm going to stay off the total. I'm not sure here. I think the Red Sox, have hit a little bit last few days. Maybe their team total over 4.5. It's plus 118. I think it's a good look. So I'd only be on the Red Sox. I look at their team total. Yeah, Bogarts. I think Herman could give up a jack or two. So I lean that way here.
All right. Good stuff, Connor Mack. That is the Sunday MLB card. Great analysis. 170 live viewers. We really appreciate that. Sundays we get good views and live turnout watching the show. We appreciate that for sure. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. It definitely helps us out. We will get to Jack of the Day. We will get to best bets in just a second. Before we do, we'll pause as we always do at this time of the show for Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101, downtown San Antonio, Texas. Make sure you just check that out. And live music, DJs, karaoke, great food, great drinks. Southtown 101 when you're in San Antonio, Texas. Check them out for sure. We've got Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off with your purchase. All you guys out there, take care of yourself with Manscaped and their male grooming products, promo code PubSports. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports, NHL and NBA playoffs, MLB daily. We've got golf coming up, U.S. Open, major NFL. NFL preseason is 2 months away. The first Hall of Fame game is going to be right around that first part of August. It's 2 months away. So good time to set up an account with mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Check them out, promo code PubSports. All right, it is time for a Sunday edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB closing time Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
Whack, whack.
Jack of the Day, tough day. Got to admit, it's a tough day for Jack of the Day candidates today. Not a lot popped off the page at me compared to usual, but one did actually, believe it or not, in the Cubs-Giants game, and that's Anthony Rizzo. I'm going to go with him against Johnny Cueto. 2 homers for him, 4 of his hits. 2 of them have been home runs, and he is he's only 4 for 30, but he's hit 2 home runs against Johnny Cueto. I think that's definitely a Jack of the Day candidate worth a look in my mind. Like I said, Xander Bogaerts for the Boston Red Sox against Domingo Germán. I like that one quite a bit. Miguel Sano against Brady Singer, and I like runs in that game, so that one makes some sense to me. And I also like, actually, believe it or not, I like one Detroit Tiger, Jonathan Schoop, 2 homers in 4 for 10 against Dylan Cease. So Jonathan Schoop as well. We'll throw him out there for the Detroit Tigers today.
Vegas guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Connor, Jack of the Day. What do you like?
I'm going to go Christian Yelich, 3 for 6, 2 home runs. And I'll go back just real quick. That's my Jack of the Day. Is you had Rizzo. I'd look at Hayward, Bryant, or Peterson. All those guys. I think a Jack off Quay. One thing, he can give the long ball up. So any of those guys. Chris Bryant's been on a tear lately. And Jason Hayward, 7 for 25 with 2 jacks. Kind of guys you could probably get at a huge price, especially Hayward. We got Torres yesterday for the Yankees, so maybe we can get one today.
All right, it is time now for best bets to wrap up this edition of the show. Connor, Mac, what do you like here for best bet?
Man, I like a few. The Astros, first 5. I like the Dodgers under 4.5 first 5, but I'm going to go to the Cardinals, minus 110. I'm going to go back to them. They better hit a lefty today, and that shitty Reds bullpen. I think it correlates, too, to the over 4.5 team total at plus 112. It's kind of both, but just go in the game, minus 110, Cardinals.
All right, over 4.5 here. Team total plus 110 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Best bet for Connor, Mac. Mine is going to be Cleveland Indians minus 112 against the Baltimore Orioles. What a cheap price that is. Better team, better arm on the mound, in my opinion. Cal Quantrill over Jorge Lopez. I don't think there's much debate there. A very cheap price in my mind here with Cleveland. Minus 112, Cleveland over Baltimore. That is going to be my best bet for this Sunday MLB card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio. Oh, we'll throw it out there just as a tease for the NBA show because it's going to start 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk about props specifically for that Hawks-Sixers game on that show. I am on Atlanta plus the points today in game 1 officially. Connor, a side or total? Are you on anything officially there for that Hawks-Sixers game?
No, but I lean under, and I haven't bet it yet. Yeah. But I'm not on the side, but I'm leaning under in game 1.
All right, there we go. It's a little tease to join us at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific for the NBA Pub Hub. Make sure you join us. Me, Connor, Max, Ski Prophet, and Dutch Boy Fresh will talk Hawks-Sixers game 1. And, of course, Mavs, Clippers, winner take all, game 7. Winner advances to the Utah Jazz in the second round of the NBA playoffs. So looking forward to breaking those 2 games down. We'll do that in an hour from now on the NBA Pub Hub. For Connor, Mac, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you in an hour for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.